Okay, so this next one is one of my favorites because I am the hostess with the mostest, okay? And this is elegant planning. So I've just always my parents always threw parties. I was a little matchstick Cinderella girl. Like we could go down that, but we're not going to go down that. But I basically was a party planner from the beginning, right? I was always. It's so funny because they didn't drink alcohol and all this other stuff. Supposedly, blah 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 blah, yada yada yada. We would go to this restaurant, and I was just like totally enamored with the bartenders, and I would make the coolest like punches, and they were all mocktails or what have you, but. And I just like I did all the decorations. I did like we would have the tree with the choo choo train and the business village. I mean, the whole kit and caboodle that went around, like the whole fireplace, like actual chestnuts roasting at like ridiculousness, right? And I was the party planner and I was cooking. I have been ironing and cooking and since I was 6 years old. So mm, I definitely have that Martha Stewart bug in me. And then I got into, even when I started 14 years old, I had to get a job to pay my way into Forest Lake Academy, to pay the $10,000 whatever to get in there. And I got a job at a mobster's, Anthony DiPoli, you know who you are, uh his dry cleaners, and ended up like just being opened up to this whole different world. And I learned how to. I didn't do well with money. Like I had very poor math skills, but I was really good with people, and people would come back, and I just, I would plan little things out for them. Like I like made up for like my hard time on the cash register with like little, like literally. Now I know I was dyslexic, but yeah, I was just always, the people pleaser and the tap dancer, and just knowing like if I made the arrangement prettier, or that was a way to please my mom, as she was really made sure that people, the way they looked at her. And that was reflected, and we had artwork and everything like that, so I was always arranging it. I was always the one brought in to other people's houses. I just always had a flair for it. So even when my ex-husband got deployed for the first time, I found out there was a spousal program with the Air Force where I could get free education, and they had a program. It was like 12-week program where I got my wedding with Kennesaw State University. I was able to get a degree or a certificate for wedding planning for free because I was a military spouse and he was deployed. And so that was one of the spousal benefits. So I definitely took advantage of that. And so when it comes to elegant planning, and then as I've mentioned, I've worked in fine dining restaurants, uh, you know, top tier, AAA, also to, being a restaurant corporate restaurant trainer for Fortune 500 restaurants all over the place, as well as private dining, and then working with several high end uh, restaurants for catering, and then also winning several bartending mixologists, like county wide, so I'm kind of a big deal. Well, I was, right, but like now I don't like people. So I definitely have a lot of experience in the party planning, or the party planning space. And here's the thing is, like, you can make it sexy with paper plates, right? We're going back to that ambiance, making it smell good, doing the best, even if you're not a 10, if you're not a whatever it is. I can't stand when people are using these numbers, or high value and low value. I'm like, no, I like high net worth. That term is great because it's referring to their bank account, right? But like to their value, like as a person, like really, that's what we're doing here, right? Like, can we? So what's low value, right? I know bad behavior, right? But there's no life in this world, regardless. We all bleed red, right? Everybody, you want to be a racist and a bigot and this, that, and the other. But if you're if you're in Afghanistan or something like that, you know, that doesn't matter. It's the blood spurting out of somebody's jugular right after an IED hit, right? This is and this is what's going on in this country. Like, really, it's like I can't even be bothered. It's so much energy to be angry. This is elegant planning, elegantly planning your life to, like, don't watch the news. Stop watching the news. Elegantly plan, what am I going to do when I get home? Okay, maybe you're in this shitty marriage. How am I going to, you know what I loved around the pandemic? People having to learn, like, they can't tiptoe around their spouse anymore. I couldn't even get into a shelter because they were overflowing with all the domestic abuse because of people, like, not being able to go take it out on their B Sancho and their girlfriends. So they came home and just beat the crap out of their wives or their husbands, right? Frying pans to the head. Like, let's be real, ladies, right? Like, you need to rein this stuff in. Elegant planning. You can be elegantly planning a freaking hot dog breakfast with your children, right? You can teach manners every day. You can take the time to wonder what people would think of, right? Like sitting next to a certain person, whatever. It's like, take yourself outside of other people or yourself and put yourself into other people's shoes, right? I don't know why this took this turn, but I think, that's really the root of, that's the root of hospitality. So you can put all the money, like I just recently saw this couple that had this gorgeous wedding, like these photos. I was just like, because I know their character, I was like, man, they spent all that money on, like, I wonder how much that cost for that. Like, but their souls, like, come through, like, you can tell in the energy of their bodies, like, they don't even like each other, but they had the beautiful photo, right? They had the beautiful shoot. They had the beautiful, all of the things. They had all of the dressings, all of the memories, right? But is that how they conduct themselves every day, every night? How do they say goodnight to each other? How do they leave each other? Do they are they in touch with each other? You know what I mean? Like, it's the little things. I don't need to have a marriage certificate. In fact, it's a bit of a yoke, right? In fact, I think that if someone stays true to me without having a leash on their neck, it's like having the dog that walks next to you without a leash. And I'm saying, because I'm the same way, right? Don't put a leash on me, but I am loyal as all get out, right? Well, that's why I do prefer dogs over cats. Yeah. So elegant planning took a turn, but I think it was for the better, because it really is the root of, when it comes to hospitality, when it really comes to planning the best shindig that you possibly can, you really have to think about what would you like when you stepped in, right? Excuse me, they say the golden rule, but in sales, it's the platinum rule. It's like, the golden rule is treat people the way you want to be treated. Well, some people are very comfortable with people treating them like in a subpar manner, like without respect, right? So no, when it comes to sales, treat people the way they want to be treated, right? And that'll get you so much further by far. Take that from the number one sale. Well, I want a couple of years, number one top producer, number one place to retire, North Carolina, best realty in town, tooting my horn. Hell yeah, I earned that shit. Catch you on the flip. Bye.